Well, hello there, YouTubers! This is Zenon Gross here, and I'm going to be bringing you Morrowind. Now, if you know anything about the Elder Scrolls series, you'll know that probably, if you know anything about them, it's probably Oblivion and Skyrim that you know very well. Those two are the very big recent titles that Bethesda has put out of their main franchise, the Elder Scrolls. Everyone has come to love Oblivion and especially Skyrim for its, I guess, like, difference. It's actually a really cool game. I have played pretty much every Elder Scrolls game, and there definitely has been improvement going from Arena all the way to Skyrim. And who knows, maybe their next game will be even better. Which would always be good to hear. Always fun to play their games. I mean, you know, it's not going to be like Elder Scrolls Online or anything, but that's not to be mentioned here. That has nothing to do with these games. We're going to be playing Morrowind for this series. Morrowind is old. Let me just put it lightly. It's old, and it's seen some age, but what you're looking at right now is a bunch of mods, and a lot of them tailor to making everything look a bit nicer, because not everything looks very nice when it's super old, if you know what I mean. So I play Morrowind very heavily modded, and that's because there was a lot to the game to be experienced with mods. It wasn't just to be alone, if you know what I mean. Like, the game is experienced better when there's lore-friendly mods that are just added and makes everything greater. And I believe I've chosen them. There are some mods I have that are completely useless, and even I don't use them. I don't know why I have them, but they're there because I used them once, maybe. I've done some light modding myself. Usually it's just fixes for mods that are completely outdated and no one updates anymore, because, as I said, Morrowind is old, and there's a lot of old people to it. So we'll just begin a new game here. I also have high-definition splash art, so things will look a bit different. So each event is preceded by prophecy, but without the hero there is no event. That is the Underking. So in the waning years of the Third Era of Tamriel, a prisoner born on a certain day to uncertain parents was sent under guard, without explanation to Morrowind, ignorant of the role he was to play in that nation's history. And now we'll listen to a little bit of a blurb.
They have taken you from the Imperial City's prison, first by carriage and now by boat. To the east, to Morrowind. Fear not, for I am watchful. You have been chosen.
Many fall, but one remains.
Wake up. We're here. Why are you shaking? Are you okay? Wake up.
Takes a bit to load. It's just, I don't know, I guess it's my high definition stuff. It causes it to be a little unload friendly, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So it'll be a black screen for a bit, but it won't be that way forever. Trust me.
Stand up.
Yeah.
There you go. You were dreaming.
So as you see here, his body textures and pants and stuff have been replaced. So our name... have to think of a name. Name's always the hardest thing, because you don't know like what race you're gonna be or anything. And I'm gonna tell you right now, in Morrowind, this is when magic was not very OP, because your mana you had to have potions to restore your mana, or you had to sleep. It didn't passively regen like it does in Oblivion and Skyrim. So you're pretty much screwed unless you're an alchemist. But we will be a mage in this one because I love playing mages. But I also have a mod that makes it so that our mana does regen over time, so we won't be screwed in combat. So our name will be Silver. He is.
Well,
and
not even
obviously,
last night's storm could wake you.
This is
I heard them say we've reached
basically
Morrowind.
the generic
I'm
Elder
sure
Scrolls
they'll let us
start.
go.
You're a prisoner, you're being released, blah 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 blah.
Quiet.
Except in Skyrim, you
Here comes the car.
technically break out.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
Oh god. And I do have, like, so like if I walk to this wall and I look like this, you'll notice it
better do
fades
what
out
they
in the
say.
background. You know, that kind of dealio going on, because why not? I mean, it just makes the game look really nice. a lot of my commands are actually disabled, which is really good, but also really bad because I'm just testing them right now to make sure, because sometimes the game breaks and you can use them, and if that happens, then everything's broken. Alright, so you see the groan down there. I keep the subtitles on because sometimes it's hard to figure out what in the heck they're saying. Yeah, so I keep subtitles on. Sorry if that agitates you for any reason whatsoever. Alright. So obviously you have your Wood Elf, you have your Red Guard, you have your Orc. Oh god, that Red Guard face did not look good. As you can tell, it's very old because first off, we're in a text box. Second, you gotta use sliders the entire time. You can't just click on stuff. You got your Dark Elf, your Breton, your Argonian, blah blah blah. The Khajiits look a lot different. And actually, they actually have beast legs, the Khajiit and the Argonians in this game. They don't have normal legs like they do in Oblivion and Skyrim. It's really weird. So we're gonna be a Breton. We'll be a dude. See if I can find some hairs that aren't stupid. Oh boy. Sometimes when you add mods, they don't exactly give you what you want. This is one of those dealios. Alright, we'll go with the black. Let's go with that. That'll be good enough. And there, you get some specials, and this is before the game let you do whatever you wanted, so it's, you know, every race kind of has, like, here are the stats they're really good at. Okay.
Great.
Even though lore-friendly, you know, obviously. So, I mean, like, the water's, like, really amazing looking. Everything is a 2K texture. The ground, the walls, everything's 2K. So if I lag a little bit here or there, it's because of the crazy resolution textures. It should not impact gameplay, as far as I understand.
Yes,
so,
we've been expecting you. You'll have
here's
to be
the census,
recorded before
dude.
you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
I have that guy memorized. He's actually really nice. So we're going to create our own class. And the reason is because I just don't like the standard classes they give you. They're just really bad. Oh god. Let's not do that. Sorry, I smacked my mic. So obviously our specialization will be magic, and obviously, oh, that is not what I wanted. Basically, you have attributes, and your attributes affect your skills. So you get to pick your favorite quote-unquote attributes, the attributes you're really good at, and I believe they get +5 points to start with. Eventually, you can max them all. It is possible to scale infinitely in Morrowind, as far as I know. So obviously, our major skills are going to be magic. So we obviously want to major in destruction so that we can do damage. We want to major in something like conjuration because that's something that we're, as a Breton, are really good at. We're really good at summoning stuff. And there's a lot of neat summons in this game, so we definitely want to take advantage of that. We probably also want to major in something along the lines of either enchanting or alchemy, because that'll be a really good source of money. Well, not only money, but really good stuff, because otherwise we have to kill stuff and hope we get good stuff, and that's not exactly the greatest thing to do. It's always better to make it. Unlike in Skyrim, you can actually enchant stuff amazingly. And in Oblivion, you can do it without a table or anything, so it's great. Alright, so we'll major in enchanting. Then we'll major in alteration. Alteration and restoration. These are basically the major skills I usually stick with, and then obviously, I believe I already picked alterations. Let me switch it around. It's a little intuitive. It flips around. I don't think we picked illusion. No, so illusion's going to be one of our minors. Mysticism will be one of our minors. Was it alchemy is also going to be one of our minors. This is correct. And then the last one, I believe there's 10 spaces, correct? There's 5 on the left, 5 on the right, but there's only 9. There is only 9 to each group, and I don't want to take unarmored, honestly, because that's actually kind of bad. Because if we take unarmored, and then we kind of are stuck to not wearing armor, if you know what I mean. Because, as it literally says, those versed in the skill are better defended wearing no armor at all than they are when wearing armor. So we don't really want to work on that too hard. So it's just a personal preference, obviously. You can pick, there's heavy armor. They actually have medium armor in this game and light armor. There's a lot of things that change over time. Obviously, everything was very divergent here. Like, we have spears in this game, axes, and blunt weapons are actually 2 separate things. long blades and short blades are actually two different things. Like right there, the short blade right there. It's weird how to see things change. So we're going to take mercantile and speechcraft. I'm not 100% sure I want that though. It's one or the other. Alright, so we'll get rid of mercantile and we'll take... Oh boy. You know what, we'll take unarmored anyway. We'll just live with it, because early on that'll help us out. And speechcraft we'll take... No speechcraft, because way better at influencing people. And okay.
Very good. The letter that preceded, you mentioned you were born under a certain sign. And what would that be?
And obviously Morrowind is a little slow to start. So obviously you have your signs, right? The signs. Everyone knows what the signs are. I believe mine are modified a little bit, so they're not what they usually are. Some of them are the same, like the shadow is still an invisibility for 60 seconds. The mage is probably really good for me. It fortifies my maximum magicka by half of whatever my intelligence is, which is really good. The apprentice is even better. It gives you 1.5 times your magicka, but gives you 50% weakness. Now, lucky us, the Bretons happen to have a 50% resistance to magicka, so helps us out there. Obviously, these all have their own things that help you. I will take the mage because it's always good to have a lot of mana. Magicka in this game.
Information is correct.
So obviously we're going to start with like very low health, 35, but we'll have 120 starting magicka and 160 fatigue. It's not amazing, but it's better than nothing. We'll go okay.
Show
I can spam through those. Take this. We have release papers to pick up. Basically, everything's just trying to teach you how to play the game.
Continue through to the next building and talk to
the door is looking a bit weird there. Okay. So basically, we have our first run-in with the game. So first, we take this dagger. We then flip to it using a bunch of key commands, or we can go into the inventory. Now, my inventory is a little weird because my screen's a lot bigger than you're supposed to be using for playing this game. Like a lot. Like, as you notice, I actually can't make my boxes any bigger. That is not... I actually have to right-click to get in and out. I have to get used to it because I haven't been playing it in, like, forever. So, obviously, we just want to take everything we can, which is really weird. We just want to steal everything we can right now. We're going to equip this, whip it out, and we're going to attempt to lockpick this, which isn't too hard. We'll switch back to this, press F again to put it away. Then take the 31 gold. Early on, it's just good to get as much crap as you can possibly get your hands on. We'll take books. I usually collect books. So collecting books is fun. Like, a lot of fun. Especially because some of them are really nice to read. I will not read any of them in the video because some of them are really long. Especially the ones I like to read. They're very long. There's also a few added by mods that I have. So we definitely will not be able to get to it. The thing I just picked up is not a normal vanilla game item. You can kind of tell because usually they have different textures. Different textures definitely means not a normal game item. But not always, because some of the items have been retextured for obvious reasons. So, bear with me as I explain the difference between the vanillas and stuff. Like, for instance, I'll take that travel lantern. Right over here is a small box with the Ravenloft amulet. This is obviously a mod. I will show you what that does, and I'll show you how we'll be using it, because I don't want to cheat too much. The DB attack ring is actually going to help us a bit. I will activate it when we get on the other side, and I'll tell you what that does. It's actually very helpful. It's a little dark in here, and it takes a bit to light up. It's because of the lighting. So here's Dracandra's voice activating, which allows us to do stuff with guilds and stuff later. Obviously, okay, so we get duties, and that's what we have to do. We have to go report to Chaos, or Chaos Cosades, or Cosades. I have no idea how to pronounce this guy's name. I've had issues with pronouncing his name forever, so I pronounce it Chaos Cosades. I have a package delivered to him, and he gives me 87 gold to do with as I please. When I come out here, press J to use your journal. I press OK. Now I have to be careful. I think it's... Okay, good. My decorator setup has to be specifically set to a bound key, because if I set it up wrong, I screw the entire thing up, and you're going to be seeing it, no item selected, please point your cursor, blah, 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 at something that we don't want. Okay, so the first quest we have, we've already completed. We want to talk to this dude. He's talking about his ring. He says the guards took his ring. We're going to give it to him. Everyone picks on this dude. Sorry. Everyone picks on this. You actually have to say goodbye from conversations.
I am honored to meet you.
Oh my god. Glitchiness. Everyone picks on him.
That's unusual.
We're gonna give him his ring. One, because there's a way to get it back. There is. And second, because it'll actually give us... He tells... Oh god. Yes. Oh boy. Yes to all, please. Let's go see what's broken, shall we? That's what's broken. I'm not 100% sure
Hurry this up, will you?
what she's from. Just ignore it. I have a lot of mods, and a lot of them do...
You piqued my interest. Please.
Like Morrowind
share
Comes
your
Alive
thoughts.
adds a lot of people to the world, so that it makes them, you know what I mean? Allows them to make the world seem more real. And obviously, prostitution was a thing in the past, so there's that. I'm going to ignore it. I will not do that at all. We will ignore it. So obviously, we see here, we have an 85 out of 100 disposition with him, which is really good. If we talk to this comment, it's like 45. It's like, wow. 45 is pretty much the standard from the get-go. Some people hate you even more. He seems to like us a little bit, so we can barter and we can buy items. We can buy scrolls. We can buy weeding hose, apparently. So obviously, there's armor. We can buy flame Valdris. That is a long blade. We don't want weapons. We just don't want weapons. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to sell the booze that we got, which is Flynn and Mazda. Or Mazte, whatever that is. And we're going to sell it for 70. That's a... Offers refused. Okay, good. We hurt our disposition a little bit, but I don't care. We're not going to be trading with this guy forever. So that gave us 70 more gold to barter with in the little bit. In the interim, which is not horrible. I mean, if we really wanted money, we could sell the Ravenloft amulet, but, I mean, he has 8,000 gold almost to sell. So there's some things we can buy and things we can do. I'm just looking here real quick. He should have it. He should have an Apprentice, Mortar, and Pestle. There it is. The Apprentice's Mortar and Pestle. He also sells ingredients in case you want to do that. He sells common items because... You know, you gotta be realistic. You can buy expensive-looking clothing and wear expensive-looking clothing for what reason? Can I pay you 90 for that? Thank you. Man, this guy's really starting to hate us. So obviously we can go in here and oh my god, my map, please. We can shrink that though, and set that right there. Okay. So if you notice if any more of those errors happen, if they break the game, obviously I'll cut out and I'll come back, but. Those errors should not be game-breaking whatsoever. Okay. So down here we can actually equip the Apprentice Mortar and Pestle, and we can make potions now. So we want to take crab meat. We can take a certain amount, or whatever, and then bread. And you'll notice that I know what they do. They both have the Restore Fatigue component, so I can make a potion of Restore Fatigue. So I want to create them. And it's actually really hard to make potions, so we're going to fail very often. We're going to do the same thing with the large Kwama egg and the bread. Obviously, we failed. Now, if you fail, it does not increase your alchemy skill whatsoever. So if I can't see it right now because I believe it's the ingredients. Actually, it's because I'm in here. But nonetheless, it's just not too much to worry about. We can actually make negative potions, but they don't do us any good. They're actually just really bad in this game. See, this does fortify strength. And you notice something? We don't know what the Grawl eyeball does. We're going to attempt to make it, but we fail. Because we're horrible. I know this does restore fatigue, squib jerky, and then there's, I believe I might have the other thing to give it new. Alright, we can give them the small Kwama eggs. Oh, we are really bad at making potions. You just start jamming stuff together until you get something. Like, see, there's a Drain Magicka, but it's like, do you really want that? So you can just spam your stuff in here until you get something. Like, Cure Common Disease, and it's just like, well... Which one is that? It was the Willow Anther, okay. That's actually really good. We got it. Alright, so that's good enough. Darn it. That is actually a really good potion to get a hold of. Because common diseases are a thing. So we have a Restore Fatigue potion. We have another Restore Fatigue potion. One restores 6 points for 17 seconds. Actually, they both do the same. They just happen to not stack for some reason. And Cure Common Disease. Now, luckily, my Cure Common Disease potion weighs nothing, but the other potions weigh something. There's weird measurements for that. Anyway, so we haven't checked the spells we know offhand. And that's kind of a weird concept, but we know spells just for playing the game. Just for picking the class that we picked, we get spells. So we can do water walking, teleport. Now this is teleport control is because of a mod that I have. I can actually set more than one teleport because in the normal game you can't, but now we can. Hearth Heal, Fire Bite, Detect Creature, Chameleon, Bound Dagger. Obviously all of these do pretty much what they do forever. Fire Bite, you know, I touch something in front of me and I deal fire damage to it. Sanctuary, I'm not exactly sure what Sanctuary does because I never get it to work. I'm very sure it buys you time when you're walking through hostile areas that things don't attack you. Things like that. Shield obviously gives you a shield for 5 points, so it'll give me 5 armor points. Stuff like that. Summon Ancestral Ghost will give me a ghost to fight for me, or to help fight for me. Bound Dagger will summon a dagger that... Actually, I'll show you what the Bound Dagger is. So, unlike Oblivion and Skyrim, when you can cast spells pretty much whenever you want, I have to bring up my ready spell, cast a spell, and then if I wanted to switch to the weapon, I have to switch to the weapon. Luckily, the bound things automatically flip there. So as we'll see here, the Bound Dagger is a short blade. It has a Fortify short blade, 10 points on self. So when you wield it, when you wield it, it gives you a fortification of 10 points, so that it's not useless. Now what'll happen is if I sheath it, I get to keep it, which is weird. In Oblivion, when you sheath the bound weapon, it would disappear. But that's that. There's also a few more quests we can do while we're here, because a bunch of side quests are things. It's just you just don't realize it. So here's this guy, Vidonius Nuxius. A little advice. Vidonius Nuxius sent you. Okay. It doesn't help us too much right now, but...
Go ahead, stranger.
You
when
have something to say to me?
No, screw you. That girl's an absolute... Like, I can't even explain. Anyway, when you're sprinting in this game, you actually lose quote-unquote fatigue. When you jump, you lose fatigue. When you swing your weapon, you do not, though. So when I go like this, I don't lose fatigue. So it's obviously weird mechanics. So this person, we want to talk about Vidonius Nuxius. Oh yes, he steers business my way, and I do him a little favor now and then. Poor fellow, I don't think he's happy here in Morrowind. And we have a journal. This tells us, like, my orders. I haven't met a Bosmer named Fargoth who claims the Imperials have stolen a ring of his. I gave the ring to him. Now, the only issue with this journal is it doesn't sort. Lucky me, I have a mod that fixes that, called the Morrowind Code Patch. My dagger just flipped over. But it's, you know, the game was old. It had a lot of problems with it. So you had to stay focused on one task, because if you did too many tasks, you would lose your place in the hoard of the journal, because that thing fills up quick. Darn it.
My patience
come here.
is limited.
Vidonius Nuxius. Alright, so you... Yeah, so I talked to him. Hey, not happy here, in fact? No, I'm not. If I had 100 drakes, I'd be on the next boat to Narcissus. I came here to make my fortune, and all I've got is this cursed ring. Say, would you give me 100 drakes for it? The ring itself is worth more than that, but the enchantment is cursed, and no one will buy it from me. It has a nifty little enchantment that fortifies your running. Problem is, it sucks the blood right out of you every time you use it. Please, will you... Please, you'll be doing me a real favor. Now, I'm a really nice guy, so I don't have 100 drakes. This is not actually true, so we'll talk to him again. And see, the issue is, I don't know what's wrong. I'm guessing I don't actually have 100 gold, so we're going to sell some stuff to get it. Because I want to help this dude out. And the reason is because there's a better way to make money in this game. Way better way to make money in this game than doing stupid stuff like that. We're at 98. Are we freaking serious right now? We're two gold short of being able to help the dude out. Oh. Okay, he gave us 5 gold for that. I don't know why the music quit in here. It's a little weird. Some of the areas bug out a little bit. As you see up there in the right-hand corner, it tells you what time it is in-game. That is not my real time. Believe me. Yes, Vidonius Nuxius. Here's 100 drakes. Give me the ring. Thank you. You're a lifesaver. Bam. And now when we exit this place and come back, if I were to walk into that building and come back, he would be gone. He's done. He's done
That was the
here.
strangest book I've ever read.
And so we helped him out. Yep. I bought a cursed ring from Donius Nuxius, said it would give me enough gold to leave Morrowind. I hope I have better luck with the ring with adventures in Morrowind than he did. So here is his cursed ring. It damages your health 10 points, but fortifies your athletics 5 points. Kinda sounds like a really screwy thing. Because, I mean, damaging my health 10 points, oh my god, that would kill you. But if I were more tanky and I was actually a warrior, like actually going to fight stuff by hand, I would definitely use that. 100% worth. We're gonna flip spells to my frostbite spell, and actually, when your fatigue is low, you're really bad at casting spells, so you want to keep that as high as possible. So yeah, you don't want to do what I'm doing and sprint all over the place, because then you'll just be in a very bad spot to cast your spells. And you cannot cast ranged spells while in water, similar to later games and everything. I'm hoping that the other guy's still over here. He is. Okay, there's a dead guy over here, and there's a reason we need to come here. Alright, so we're going to kill these things one at a time. Alright, we should not fail in casting the spells. Oh god. It's a very low chance, but we can fail casting them. It is possible. Alright, so you got rats, you got the Quama Forager, you know, things that are native to Morrowind and Morrowind only, basically. Okay. And spells do not always do their full damage. Spells can do anywhere from none to their full damage. Some spells, I mean, weapons particularly, tell you about that. Now, that's a dispose corpse option. It instantly takes everything in their inventory, shoves it into yours, and does that. So here's Processus Vitalis. Your journal has been updated. This guy is the tax collector. So, I found a corpse while traveling near Sedanine. It seems to be the corpse of one Processus Vitalis. I don't know how we learned his name. Based on some items found on his body, that doesn't even make any sense. He's carrying a parchment with what looks like tax records. He also had 200 gold on his body, probably taxes he'd collected. So, this is your first quest, if you even discover it, because, I mean, you could horribly miss that. Wow, those are pretty cool water effects. This guy's very not nice. Yeah, that's how we one-shot him. Good. Yeah. So, that's basically how you do that. You know, just kill stuff. Very easy RPG concept, obviously. So, this is the first quest, if you can even find it. It actually took me many games to figure out that that dude was over there. So, yeah, there's that. There's going to be a lot of walking, which is an issue. And this is the last quest I believe I'm going to complete here before I move on to other things. Because the other quest takes a while and is not really worth it. You get maybe 100 gold.
I suppose it is my duty to help those less
which I guess isn't horrible. So, we actually want to go and talk to this dude down here. I don't know if this gate's open. It's not. Alright, so we have to backtrack through the entire census and access office. Because we want to talk to the census dude, because obviously that's the guy in charge of the tax collector. So we're going to run through here. I forgot that this is a door, not a load. We're going to talk to him. We want to talk about the murder of Processus Vitalis. So, murdered, what a waste. Processus was a good man. I had been wondering why I hadn't heard from him in a few days. Still, these are dangerous times we live in, and these sort of things will happen. Did you happen to find the tax money he collected? I'd hate to be so callous, but I do have a job to do. This is also one of those choices things. We can either give him the septums, or we don't. I will give them to him, because I'm an upstanding citizen. Honesty is appreciated, and we get 500 septums if we bring his murderer to justice. Yes, we are vigilantes now. So, off we go to vigilantism. Really weird, but except we get to go and find his murderer. We're also going to check the journal once we get outside this door again. So, here we go. Journal. Okay. Okay. I've told Socusius, whatever, the truth about the 200 golden tax money I found on the corpse of Processus. He seemed impressed with my honesty, but confused as to why someone would murder him, but not take his money. If I can find out who has done this and execute the murderer, Socius has promised to pay me 500 gold. So we're going to talk to a few people. We have to be careful because you can't talk to any of the mod-added people, which can get hard sometimes because they're all over the place. So I'm going to talk to you about the murder predecessor Vitalis. Someone finally got him, huh? Well, it's no surprise, I suppose. No one likes a tax collector, especially one who flaunts his wealth while taking our hard-earned cash. The only one who could stomach him at all was Xavier over in the lighthouse. The two of them spent some time together. Shame, really. She seemed like a nice woman. I'm not exactly sure what she's saying there, to be honest. There seems to be a little bit of duplication in a mod over there. It looks like there's 3 of the dude that belongs over there. He sells like crazy. I'm not actually sure what goes on over here. But there's 3 of them now.
Can you ask your question quickly? I must be going.
Herbalist training or gardening. Okay, that's for something else. This guy sells really powerful armor. I think yeah, he sells armor. Drainer's Blade, Jaws, Throat Seeker, the Black Boots, like levitate 1 to 100 points for 10 seconds on self. Pretty decent, especially if you can get the 100 points of levitation, because you'll move really fast while in the air. But only 10 seconds really isn't worth. You need to levitate for at least 60 seconds to do anything in this game, sadly, but I guess you could spam it. Alright, so here's the lighthouse. Really crude lighthouse, if you ask me. Alright. So here's Xavier Vedrano. We want to talk about the murder Processus Vitellius. Processus murdered? No! Tell me it's not so. He was the gentlest man I ever met, blah blah. Seen him get angry. Well, not even angry, I suppose. I saw him arguing once with foreign Gilnith about his taxes. He thought Processus had been levying too much and skimming off the top for himself. Ridiculous. Processus wouldn't have done such a thing. I'm sure of it. Please find out what happened. Find out what became Processus' ring, and give it to her so she has something to remember him by. Which isn't horrible, but the ring was not on his body. So obviously whoever the killer is, when we kill him, we'll have the ring, right? That's pretty much what this is saying. Apparently there was some disagreement about the amount of money Gilnith owed and how much he had really been making with his fishing. I know where this guy is, and I will tell you right now, he is the murderer. But the thing is, we can't outright attack him. So here's the shack. We can't outright just walk in here and just kill him, because then we get in trouble. So what do you want? The murder Processus Vitalis? That fetcher? You're damn right I did him in, and a good thing too. He was skimming a load of money from all of us honest people, overcharging us on our taxes, and keeping the difference for himself. He was always flaunting his money around, showing off his new clothes and jewels, so I killed the bastard, and left his body out there to rot, with all his ill-begotten gold still on him. And the sad thing was, that was the taxes. Like, this guy didn't even understand. He just got paid that much. Like, I believe what you say. I'll say nothing to the authorities, or sorry, that is no excuse for murder, and your punishment has been decided. So basically, we're going to be vigilante. We're going to kill the bastard. Let's go. Now, he fights with his hands, which is kind of bad for us. Alright, so we're going to switch to here, and we're going to take one of our Restore Fatigue potions. And the reason is because the way fist fighting works in this game is he doesn't actually do physical damage to us. He has to lower our stamina to 0, put us on the ground, and then while we're on the ground, beat the living crap out of us. That's how that works. I mean, obviously you can tell this game is old. I mean, look at the particle effects. They're really bad. But we're just killing him because he can't do anything to us, luckily, because he doesn't have any weapons. This is a really crap spell. So here's him. We can steal his gold, but we're going to take his ring, and I'm going to steal his gold. Because I want his gold. Okay. Did it work? I have no idea. I don't know. Sometimes things update, sometimes they don't. I'm hoping it did.
So make it quick.
I'm hoping that updated. Because sometimes quest updates and sometimes they don't. So let's just hope it did. Crossing my fingers. Because I would like to end my episode with like something that's not failure. So we're gonna run through here. The murder. Done. 500 gold. Bam. We're rich. Now let's go. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to be very nice to the Thandir at the lighthouse, and we're going to go give her his ring. Mostly because she'll give us some restore health potions, which are hard to make early. So we definitely can do that. So let's go do that. I don't know. My stamina, my fatigue, quote unquote, is now 0. Weird things can happen when your fatigue hits 0. You're supposed to collapse. But as you can see, I'm still sprinting, I'm still jumping. It just didn't make a difference. So here we are, Thavir. Processes ring. Here you go. She gives us 2 standard restore health potions, and takes the ring. So you found the ring I gave him. Thank you so much, Silver. It's good to have something to remember him by, though I'll never see him again. Here, take this. He usually traveled with a couple when he was doing his job, but he didn't this last time. If only he had. So that's that. We're done with a decent quest from the get-go that actually gives you a lot of money if you do it. So if you were ever playing Morrowind and you didn't know that was a thing, I suggest you do it, even at the end. Definitely worth it. So the last thing I'm going to show you is what did we earn from it other than some good stuff. We didn't earn anything yet. See here, the reputation is what I'm working on. The higher that reputation, the more people like you from the get-go, whether they actually liked you beforehand or not. So there's that. Now as you see here, the game said my starting strength was 40. I don't know why it's 36 now. I think there's some kind of balancing going on, particularly. Like, my intelligence is really high. So is my willpower. Like, that is not normal. Really good for magic. Really bad for carrying stuff. But that's obviously a mod taking some effect over my game. So yeah. So that's me. Yeah. Kind of a slightly disproportionate face. You know what I mean? It's kind of weirdly shaped. I'm not even sure what to say about that. It's a little glitchy going in and out. Like, it does not like that. But, yeah, whatever. So that is all I have time for today. I believe that's actually a little bit over the amount of time I allotted to do it, but oh well. So this is Morrowind. It's very similar to Skyrim and Oblivion because it's its predecessor. And let me know what you think about the game, because Morrowind is very different, obviously. It behaves really weird. It's got things going on that they don't, so... Huh, okay.
I am honored to meet you.
Good, I don't care. that guy is... I don't even know how to explain it. So, that's all I have for today. So I guess I'll see you guys later.